So I am Elena Cecchinato. I'm an Italian artist based in the UK. I am a multidisciplinary artist. I always start from drawing, and then from there I expand into painting, collage, automatic writing, installation, video, and sound. So when I find a material that speaks to me and makes me ask questions, I instinctively want to work with that material and trying to find all its possibilities and trying to find some sort of formal solutions with it, which inevitably leads to even more questions. At uni, I studied development studies and Korean. Then I took a course in calligraphy and art at the University of Koryo in South Korea. And it was only after an MA degree in History of Art of Africa and Asia that I decided to become a professional artist. So for me, art, it's a way to find unity in the fragmentations of life. I see my art practice as a place of transcendence, where the different elements can surpass the borders that separates them. I like to push the boundaries between art and craft and design, or between painting and music, or between writing and drawing. So, for example, I did a lot of work on the relationship between writing and drawing, or if you want, between the verbal and the visual. We can read images, but we can also paint vision with words, and yet writing and drawing are fundamentally not the same. Otherwise, that would be pure duplication. So I've been asking myself, how do they differ, and what are they not, and where do they cross their otherness? This year, I've been working on a collaborative project, which I started 2 years ago during an artist residency in Lisbon, where I had the chance to work with artists Marta Angelozzi and Céline Chachtil. The project is called River of Change, and it is very much an artistic residency which focuses on the process itself as opposed to the end product or the final work. Our common denominator was the Asbismal from the I Ching, which is the symbol of water and change. But we will develop our own individual processes while exchanging our individual skills in our process. This April, we were due to meet in London to work by the River Thames. And of course, because of the pandemic, we had to quickly readapt and rethink our modus operandi. So we would meet every morning via WhatsApp or Zoom, and we would set out what we would do for the day. And then we would meet again in the evening, and we would present to each other what we've done, and we would give feedback to each other, and we would also collaborate on collaboratively contribute to an online platform for mind mapping. Another way we connected with each other was to give each other exercises and instructions. And we used metaphors like the changing of the tides, or symbols of the eternal loop or the eternal cycle. And we use these metaphors to deal with the rapid changes that the pandemic was bringing about. I was developing a series of videos and live time performances where I use the element of automatic writing and water in response to the notion of impermanence and the transitory aspects of life. Every day I would write for 1 hour straight with water on a black piece of paper against the sun. And as the heat made the water evaporate and the words disappeared every time I rewrote them, the importance of distraction in the process of creation became clearer to me. While each word evaporated and disappeared, it also left a soft mark that later revealed itself on the paper. At first, it was invisible to the eye, and yet it struck me like a memory of the matter and the action that took place. Within this exercise, there is an element of frustration as every mark disappeared, deleting each affirmation, but also of liberation as there were no traces left, supposedly. It was like a meditation where I was in the flow. I was writing, but no interpretation was involved. Working at distance made us realize that separation is mainly an illusion, and that even if confined in a place, our body and our mind were free, and that we could connect with each other at a higher frequency that was beyond space and was making us feel safe. So I'm working on some water painting, as in painting on water, a bit like marbling, a technique that I started 2 years ago as a way of exploring abstraction. Up until then, my work had mainly been figurative, and it took me quite some time to let go of figures and symbol and just be in touch with the emotion itself. I then decided to take abstractions all the way, and I'm now working with music composer Timothy Ellis, and we are using sound waves to make the water and the paint move to create some phenomenally disruptive and yet quite harmonic design. So I prepare a size of water which is based on top of a speaker connected to a synthesizer. I then paint on top of the water, and Tim makes a sound composition which ends with very low bass frequencies, which then moves the water and the paint. Once the vibration comes down, I use a sheet of paper to capture and record the painting. So I am developing the writing with water on the black paper against the sun, the disappearing writing, but I'm adding drawing. I want to mix writing and drawing in a sort of coherent way. And I'm organizing an exhibition of my painting and sound recording on paper with Padova and Oxford city councils, as the two cities are twin cities of culture, and I'm from Padova, and Timothy, the composer, is from Oxford. So I've contributed some stills from the Rivers of Change videos of the performances that I did during lockdown to an online exhibition that it's currently on. The exhibition is called Co-Antivirus. Then there is my website where one can see some of my work, and there is museumspirituality.com where one can purchase some of the ceramic I make, and then I'm on Instagram like everyone else.